Okay, it's very good to think about this, and I'm very sorry that there's nobody here from Congo, from the Democratic Republic of Congo, because as far as my beginning of this was concerned, it all came through church leaders in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We had evacuated 3 times, and in 2000, I was allowed to go back and visit with our church leaders. And I found that they weren't interested at that point very much in using the Bible. They weren't that interested in literacy. What they wanted to know was, why were people behaving in such peculiar ways? Why were people angry? Why were there more suicides than they'd ever known before? And even with my elementary knowledge of mental health, I knew that this was caused by the trauma of the war, of the things that they'd seen and the rapes and the killings that had gone on. So I went back to Nairobi, went to a meeting and found Dick, obviously as our psychiatrist, and said to Dick, what are we going to do about this? And he can take the story on from there, because also Harriet got involved and Pat Mearsma was involved in this. And we were looking for material that was translatable into many languages, that would make sense, and also was biblically based, but with good mental health principles. And I remember Pat had half an office of books. None of them worked. We looked at them all and we said, nah, that one you can't translate. That one's got no scripture in it. And so on. So that was where it really all started. And then after a little while, people were saying, well, yes, this is fine for us. We're adults. What about the children? The children are traumatized as well. And at that point, I was involved in doing a children's trauma healing book, which didn't look like this then. It now looks very much better. It's got a very nice picture on it. And I would like to say that there are 2 other authors who aren't present here, which is Debbie Braxmer of the Reformed Church of America, and also Lynn Westman of Mercy Ships, because they were involved with me in the original children's book. Now, it's changed quite a bit, as I'm sure Margie would tell us. But the basis lessons are still as they were at the time when we first started this. So we should thank them as well, the 2 that were involved in that. But to look at what's happened to it is incredible. This was a very small beginning. We didn't know what we were letting ourselves in for. I don't know about Harriet, but Harriet and I were the non-counselors. We were the non-psychiatrists. And we really weren't sure at all what was going to happen. We were helped by a lot of Swiss chocolate that was sent for our meetings, because we'd have these long arguments between Harriet and my angle and Pat and Dick's angle, and we'd finish up eating all this chocolate, remember?
That's medical treatment.
Yes, and it definitely helped. But the way that it's developed from there is incredible, and I'm very grateful to God that we were able to start it and that it was able to grow in this way.